So we are going to draw. Mostly I'm going to just kind of draw what comes to mind. I'm going to use this beautiful pen, which I love. It's a Pilot Precise V5, and they did not pay me to say that. And I just have a Strathmore drawing pad here. And, so let's pretend I'm going to draw some arches. We don't even have to pretend. So I'm kind of making up the curve as I go along. I'm looking at how it changes shape as it comes towards me. I probably would have made this wider than this. Should have done that. And make the inner arch. I'm going to make a little thing for it to sit on. Maybe it's another floating block. Because why not? You know, this is what I do in my sketchbooks. I just kind of make stuff up and let it. I add some shading in here because pretend that's where the light's coming from over there. And then maybe I'm going to add this. And then let's pretend we have a surface down here. And I look at these spirals and I think, well, how would it look if it was flat? How would they look if I took a surface of spirals and put it on its side? What would that look like? And then if I add these little lines in here, pretending it sort of curves all around and has this depth to it, well, that changes everything. And certainly it's sitting above this kind of floor of scrolly things. And if I repeat the line, it now looks like it's sitting on two of them. Over there anyways. I'm going to do the same thing right here. Because why not? Of course, I need to have some shadow on the insides of these. On the curves over here. This is what's going to give me a little more depth to it. And it goes way back in the distance. And by taking these same rhythm of curves and just getting them smaller and closer over here, it makes it feel very far away. And maybe I decide to draw some mountains. And I'm going to draw an archway right here. Well, maybe it just becomes a wall. My curve there is off. So what do I do about that? In this instance, I'm just going to work with it. And now I end up with a whole lot more depth. It's also a little more interesting than just being a symmetrical shape. And then maybe we're going to add some more clouds, because I like drawing clouds. You know, this is kind of sometimes how I approach painting, because I just look at things and think, what else do I want to put in there? You know, with painting, I'm going to be a little more particular about what I'm putting in there and why. But let's say I'm just making some archway kind of shapes. Well, I'm just going to let myself go with it and go with it in a manner that sort of works with whatever painting I'm working on, of course. But, you know, it's all very free form. Like I said, this is one of my favorite pens because it's just a consistently dark black line. I'm going to turn this into a cliff over here, just because. I was working on painting and there was a cliff in it, and a tree hanging off the cliff. A lot of my work ends up, a lot of my drawings end up in this sort of mix of scribbly gestural stuff and very clear line work stuff, and it makes for an interesting balance of shapes and forms. What next? What next? by adding these up here, what I'm going to end up with is a different angle. So now with these arches, it's going against this other wall of arches. So it creates a little friction of shapes, different layers, different dimensions merging together, different axes, if you will. And then with a tunnel of arches over here. See, by just repeating that shape in there, you end up with this depth, this space going inwards. Same with this. You know, would I do this on every single element if I were painting this as a painting? I doubt it, but it's interesting here and there, and it sort of breaks things up. And here I'm just making these extreme vanishing points to this, and it gives it a lot more depth. You know, that's really the point, is to sort of stretch things. Stretch things and pull them and create slightly more extreme versions. And it creates a more, an exaggerated sense. And that exaggerated sense helps to push the viewer into a sort of a broader understanding of the feeling. The difference between happy and ecstatic, or sad and delirious. Okay, delirious isn't sad, but whatever. And just by repeating the dominant shape of this cliff over here, you end up with a neat repeated pattern. I don't need to redraw the entire thing each time perfectly, but rather just the very shape of it, the very the dominant sort of structure, and that sort of repeats in our eyes and disappears over there. And that's a picture.